Today we are going to discuss about the capacitor input filter or pi section filter. Earlier we discussed that filter, which was LC filter, which was a kind of inductor input filter. So you can see inductor input filter here. The input part, in the input part there was an inductor, but now we are doing the reverse case. So we are using capacitor input filter. So this filter is also known as pi section filter because the arrangement of the capacitor and the inductor is forming like a letter pi. So like this you can see here inductor is connected and the two capacitors are connected in parallel with each other. So it basically consists of a filter C1, this C1, which is connected across the rectifier output. This is across the rectifier output. A choke, which is L, which is in series, and another filter capacitor, which is C2, which is also connected across the load RL. So only one filter section is actually shown, but these sections are these could be multiplied actually. Just like you can add pi section filters more and more. This is one pi section filter, another pi section. So in pi filter we are doing the case of full wave rectifier. So with full wave rectifier, because each diode it is conducting for a fraction of a half cycle only. So during each conducting interval, the capacitor C1 is charged to the peak value of the pulsation, and these capacitors offer low reactance to the AC component. So in this way, a C1 bypasses an appreciable amount of AC, whereas the DC component is actually is continuing to inductor L. So it is a kind of a combination of capacitor filter and the LC filter. Okay, so the other fluctuations which are opposed by the series inductor and the other capacitor C2. So this is kind of LC capacitor, and earlier C capacitor has been used. So the output is shown like this. You can see that this is a very smooth curve. So it is nearly close to the DC current or DC voltage. So here the pulsations are shown, and you see that the pi section filter produces a unidirectional output voltage across the which is a load resistance RL with a negligible ripple. Here the ripple factor is very small. So next we are calculating the ripple factor gamma. So the ripple factor is equal to the product of ripple factor due to capacitor and due to the L section filter. So you can see that here if we are considering this LC filter, and this as a capacitor filter only. So here we are using the ripple factors of capacitor filter as well as the LC filter. So ripple factor of the capacitor filter is the expression is this, we have studied earlier, and this is the ripple factor of LC filter. This we have shown that it is independent of R in last article. So because of ripple factor is equal to gamma C multiplied by gamma LC, so we will multiply these two terms. This is due to C1 and this term is due to C1 and C2 and L. So this is LC filter. So multiplying with those, we can see that in the denominator there are a lot of terms. We also have L, C1, C2 and RL. So in this way, the ripple factor reduces very to a large extent. In pi section filter, you can see that gamma is equal to 0.854 by 8 omega square L C1 C2 RL. So here you can see RL is in the denominator. So it is used only where the small power units are there. So it is generally because it increases with the decrease in load resistance. So this is this is increased, so it is used in the small power units. Also, the cost, weight, size, and external field which are produced by the series inductor, they are the main disadvantages of the capacitor input LC filter. So there are some of the disadvantages of the pi filter also, but these disadvantages can be overcome by replacing series inductor with a series resistor. Okay, so that we will just simply replace the inductor by a series resistor. So this at that time the capacitor it is known as capacitor input RC filter. We are now doing capacitor input LC filter, but at that time if inductor is replaced with the resistor, then it would be called capacitor input